Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And Creature.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 10, Episode 3 and 4. But before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach that as soon as possible. So make our wish come true. And go ahead and hit that button, okay? So, Miss
Because
Creature.
all we want for Christmas is your subscription.
Yes. So, what did you think of the ending of bracket 1 and the beginning of bracket 2?
It was cute. It was cute.
I agree. I'm really enjoying this format, and with the rumor that All Stars 11 is going to follow this format too, I'm excited. I want to see the full thing. I wish we would have got the full season done before they jumped the ship and started. I don't think they've started just yet, but rumor has it they're going to start soon. And I'm like, ooh, we should wait to see how this wraps up before we committed to doing this over again. But I'm loving it so far, so I'm not going to hate too much. Okay, okay.
Too much.
So for me, I really enjoyed these two episodes. I really enjoyed the strategy of episode 3. They're like, okay, now listen. We are on this last episode. We got to get some shit shaken. And we're going to talk about Miss Lux. Because I get where she's coming from, but I also don't at the same time. So let's go ahead and get into these two episodes because we got quite a bit to talk about. So let me switch over here. Boop! So at the beginning of episode 3, the queens enter back into the workroom, well, our bottom 4, and they sit down and start discussing how they want to give their points away. And Olivia, right off the jump, is like, I know I'm giving mine too.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I should have known some tomfoolery was at stake. Because she was quick. I know I'm giving mine too.
Yeah, because apparently she learned a little too late what she was actually supposed to do.
Yeah. So Irene and Bosco re-enter the workroom. Irene feels so validated in this moment, and I'm just so happy for her. Because she has, she was the first out. And so for her to come back and win the first 2, and spoiler alert, win the first 3 episodes, it's a big thing. And that's why I truly feel like we should be inviting more first outs back. Because we've had some pretty sickenings. Just think about the ones who did come back. Vanjie. She was an example of a first out coming back and doing well. The one from season 2 that came back from season 3, she did extremely well. So, just to push them out, it's like, oh, y'all are first outs, y'all don't matter, or y'all an early out, whatever. She's coming in and showing, like, hey, I had other skills. I just decided to make a cup of water for my talent show. Which that's still to this day, but I've seen the full 7-minute bit. It's hilarious, but trying to turn that into 1 minute didn't translate well for her. So I'm glad to see her back. I'm glad to see her excelling. So
Definitely
they talk. It's time to give out their points, and Aja goes first. She gives Olivia her point, bringing her to 2 points.
Okay.
Then Deja, I'm sorry, not Deja, but Phoenix gives her point to Deja, bringing her to 2 points. Then the tomfooleries are coming. And see, Aja knew right then and here. She's like, oh, you playing with me. Because Olivia decides to give her point to Deja.
Right.
And then Deja gave her point to Olivia. Which brings the final count to Aja with 3, Bosco with 4, Deja with 3, Irene with 4, Olivia with 3, and Phoenix with 1. And if I was Phoenix, I would be feeling some type of way.
Right. I mean, she did.
Oh, she did. We're going to get to that. So Olivia tried to explain, but I don't think she explained well in this moment here. I think she explained better when they were getting ready for the runway. That was a way better conversation because she was talking about stuff she did last week. Here I'm like, no, baby, we need to talk about what you just did. Right. What you just did. What you just laughed in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I thought we was an alliance and you didn't sit here and...
And speaking of, let's get to it. Next day in the workroom, they come in and they immediately start talking about their alliances. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. We are in the last episode for y'all. But at the same time, Phoenix is still at the table. She didn't know about any of these alliances.
Right.
So this could have been the talk that we had while giving out the last set of points.
Right.
But, Aja felt like she had her back. Olivia was like, well, the Melanation Station, Deja was still in the competition. So I'm like, I gave her a point so we can all match up.
Right.
And I'm like, I get that. I do. And she explained it better, like, during the sit-down later in the episode. I get that. Mm-hmm. You wanted everyone to be on the same level so that any one of us can make it, or even all three of us could make it to the end. But I'm also at the same mind of Aja. If I'm sitting there and I'm like, because she flat out said, she's like, oh, I have something with Deja, but me and you. So to me, I would feel some type of way. Because if I'm putting myself in this situation, if you were the queen that had the 3 points already, I still would have gave you my point because I said it's us two. So if I can't make it to the end, at least you can make it to the next round. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she kind of came to that.
At that point, it's about representation as opposed to, all three of us should make it.
Yeah. And I think that was in her head when she gave out her final points at the end of this episode. I'm like, okay, because if she didn't, that would have been a tie. And we're going to talk more about that later. But yeah, I feel like I'm more on the side of Aja, but I also understood where Olivia was coming from. She's like, no, we all now have the same amount of points. We can go in and now push this last episode and all three of us can make it through. But it's supposed to be me and you at the end. So,
right.
Like I said, if we were in this situation and you were winning every week, you would still be getting my points. I don't care if she got 6 points. She's getting another one from me. And I'll always make sure I go last so that other people can give me their points first. Before I be like, okay, in my point. But yes, Phoenix then stepped up and she felt some type of way, as she should. There was alliances going on that she didn't know about. She did not get a point. And she said at the end of this episode, y'all are going to be relying on me for my point. And it turned out to be exactly that. Y'all are going to want a point from me, and neither one, now one of y'all done anything for me. So why would I give y'all my point?
Right.
Because I'm petty. We'll talk about it more later, but I would have gave the point to somebody else. We'll talk about it. So the alarm goes off. We get our room out for the week. And they are stationed into this basketball court where we meet some professional basketball players. Well, college basketball players.
They're college basketball players.
Yeah, some college basketball players.
They don't get paid like the boys do.
Yeah. So they're shooting hoops, and RuPaul goes up to do a layup, misses, and the run that she did from the scoreboard thingy, from someone who played basketball, rim, this run just had me howling. One thing that I've noticed with this season of All Stars, RuPaul's having fun again. I've noticed with All Stars 10, since the jump, even going into the next bracket, RuPaul is having a good time with the queens. Because, these past few seasons of All Stars, it seemed very much, oh, today's maxi challenges, yada, yada, yada. All right, good luck, bye. But yeah, it just seems like Ru's having more fun, and I really enjoy that. So Ru announces that this week's challenge is the Makeover. And to give the points out, whoever makes the most free throws in 1 minute gets to make assign the partners. So, the partners that we're dealing with today, we have Lauren Betts, Abby, Maya Hernandez, Hunter Hernandez, who are sisters, Nevaeh Dean, and Talia Vaughn. So, out of the 6 queens that you see here that play basketball, who would you have wanted?
Nevaeh or Talia?
I wanted Lauren. She's tall. I'm like, give me Lauren. Give me Lauren. It wouldn't be too much of a height difference.
Lauren would have been really good for you.
I'm like, I'll just wear flats. We'll put you in some heels, and we'll be the same height. give her. She said she was 6'7". Give her a 3-inch heel. I'll just wear some flats. We're the same height now. Oh, you wouldn't be able to take us. You wouldn't be able to take us, okay? So we got to watch the mini challenge, which was so much fun seeing them do an activity, an athletic sport. And none of them, except for Irene and Bosco, really had any athletic skill. But baby, Irene came in with a goal this season. And for her to walk out winning every maxi challenge and every mini challenge.
Right?
I have to give her props. I really do.
You thought.
You thought. Don't think that again. So,
don't think that again.
We saw everybody, and at the end, Irene was the queen with the most wins. So she got to pair everybody up, and she did it fairly. Boo. Boo. You know me, I would have put people together that had no business being together. No business. None. Because the only one that I feel like would have done good regardless is Deja, because she's an amazing makeup artist. So I feel like she would have done good with whomever I thrown her direction. But everybody else, oh yeah, I'm finna fuck y'all up. I am. So not only do they have to make over these beautiful basketball players, they also have to write a verse for the song Shoot Your Shot. And I'm like, oh, another music-based challenge. Okay. Okay. Go for it. So, the queens enter the workroom. We get to see them on the main stage rehearsing. And this is where we get the Aja and Olivia sit down, where they get back on the same page. And not too much on the same page, because when Aja was doing her makeup, she's like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm aligned with anybody right now. And I'm like, I feel that.
I'm like,
Because maybe I'm just different. But whoever I made that first, final 2 yada yada with, that too, I'm helping.
Right.
I'm giving it to you. You're giving it to me. That's how this is supposed to work. But yes. So, after they get done getting the queens in drag, it's time to hit the main stage. And up first, we have the mother of all mothers, the queen of all queens, the hostess with the mostest is RuPaul. What did you think of RuPaul this week and your score?
I want this outfit.
So bad. I want one in every color.
Same. Want one in every color.
Oh, y'all be sick of me again. And yes.
With the red acrylics.
The red lip.
The red lip. She said, I'm show out for you today.
Zaldi did they big one with this one.
I swear, it's almost like taking Australia off of her plate just rejuvenated the snot out of her.
And the way things are looking, it might be a while before we get another Down Under, or if we ever get another. And I'm kind of sad, because 4 was a cute little, restart. It was a cute little, even though I'm still mad about... Well, I'm not mad. I'm just more about Lazy Susan in that last episode. She did great. She won, that's fine. But the way she did that last episode really burnt my biscuits, okay? It burned them. But what is your score for Mother this week?
This is an A plus infinity
Listen, it's so
something.
good. I'm gonna forgive that hairline. A plus because bring it. This is where it starts, RuPaul. Not here. It starts coming from another ball person. It starts here, not here. Okay.
Blame her hairstylist.
The lack of one. She don't have one. Ever since she fired Delta Work, she has not had one. She's just been saying, "Oh, I want that wig," and they're just putting it on her head.
Well, damn.
Mm-hmm. But yes, A plus, mother. So this week we are joined by Michelle Visage, the fabulous T.S. Madison, and our extra special guest judge, Kate Beckinsale. I ain't seen this lady in years. I'm like, well, look at you popping up. I imagine other people have kept tabs with her, but I just haven't. So it's good to see you again. I forgot she existed.
Facts. I forgot who she was. I thought she was that one chick.
There was one lady who I thought she was. I can't remember her name, but I wonder if that was the same lady we both thought it was. Oh my gosh.
Probably.
But the category is Drag Family Resemblance. Up first, we have Deja Sky and Sophie Roches. Sophie Roches, yes. Get it, Sophie Roches. So, what did you think of Deja and Sophie?
I wasn't a big fan of Sophie's outfit. I felt like Deja kind of left her out in the mud a little bit. To kind of take care of herself, like, oh, look at me. Yeah, she's over there. But Sophie did look like she was enjoying the snot out of herself. Like, she was sitting there and she was just like, gigging it. I was like, all right. I give it a C.
For me, I thought they both looked gorgeous. I don't really see a drag family resemblance. I think she did a good job with Sophie's makeup, but she didn't put Deja's makeup on Sophie.
Right. She put, this looks good on Sophie's face, makeup on Sophie.
Yeah, like she looks gorgeous. Can't deny that. But I wish she would have put her face on Sophie. And the outfits, they're not even similar to me. At all. And I'm like, I'm okay with the different colors, the Elphaba and Glinda of it all. I appreciate the separate colors, but they don't look like they belong in the same line. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're not in the same story.
Yeah, they're not in the same store. We got these from two different stores here.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got, instead of getting Glinda and Elphaba, you got Anastasia and Drizella.
Yes. So I would have to give it your C. I would give it a C. Up next is Irene and Estelle, the alien. This was everything. They matched without being too matchy. I love the outer space Harlequin effect that they were going for. This was amazing. 10 out of 10s, A plus, 10s across the board. I love it. What did you think of Irene and Estelle?
You know what? I agree with your A plus. Like, it was the most put together, most thoughtful outfit that I did see. Like, I enjoyed like the different colors and how they complemented each other without being too matchy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I agree with your A plus.
Up next, we have Bosco and the Goddess. What did you think of Bosco and Goddess?
I wish the dress had been longer on the Goddess, but
honestly, I don't think she knew she was gonna have to put a dress on a 6'7" woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know they weren't anticipating having to put a dress on somebody so tall.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of what she worked with a lot of Lauren's features. like the Indian of it all. Um, and that's like the only thing that's really saving it for me. I love the Oscar's outfit. Then again, my favorite color is blue. Um, Look at those shoes, Lauren's shoes. I love Lauren's shoes, but then again, I like anything that's like a T-strap shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I still give this a B plus though.
I give this an A minus. I thought this was so cute. Yes, I would have wished it was longer, but I'm not going to hold it against Bosco because there's no way she would have known. Um, it's the neck piece that's taking it out for me.
Same.
Show her beautiful neck. Show that. Ugh.
Yes,
like if you had like a lovely necklace instead, I think that would have been really good. So I give it an A minus. This is beautiful. Up next, we have Phoenix and Heron. Now, don't get me wrong. I had to look up that Heron was a bird. I've never heard of a heron bird in my life. So, you could have picked a completely different bird. You could have called her a bluebird.
A dove.
A jaybird. A dove, like
a
you
red
said.
bird. A cardinal.
Something. But hey, they come out in these orange jumpsuits and they reveal looks that are similar to the season 3 looks of hers and Indie Affairs, which I thought that was really smart.
That was very smart.
Really smart, really fun. I understand that their outfits were black. I wish there was a little bit more color on it just because of how dark the background is.
Mm-hmm. But how are they to know that the background was going to be that dark?
Honestly, this is a whole new stage. They wouldn't have known that there was going to be a whole new stage until they got there. But yeah, I still think it's a great outfit. I love the reference to season 3. So this gets a solid B plus from me. Phoenix did a really good job. What did you think of Phoenix and Heron?
I agree with your B plus. Like, it was a really smart thing to call back to your season opener and, you know, the matchiness of it all, however accidental or on purpose it may have been, even though I'm pretty sure it was on accident.
Yeah, they both stated it was for on accident.
Yes. I mean, you know, wigs are wigs and they're mass produced. What do you expect?
Not everybody can afford a custom, one of a kind. Sometimes you got to get that shake and go and make it work, okay?
Exactly. And then you think about this was the early aughts, and custom wigs were probably a thing, but were very, very expensive.
No, they're
so,
still very expensive. I said they're still very expensive. But yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
So let's move on.
I saw... Okay.
Oh, no, you said you saw what, honey?
I was like, because I've seen some, like, on TikTok, people making wigs, and they're extremely expensive, so.
Baby, give me a shake and go, a curling iron, and a comb, and we're finna make it work, okay?
Look, I'm a look and go, so I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do that. Let me just get some glue and...
Listen, I'm telling you, if I ever step into the life and the life leads me to Drag Race, the way I'm going to make all of them before even going and just press them down and pray that they stay good from Texas to LA because I don't want to have to redo these. But yes, I thought this was really good. So up next we have Olivia and Octavia Lux. What did you think of Olivia and Octavia?
This was gorgeous. This was magical. Like, I love the earth tones and the rose gold on Olivia. Olivia literally took her face and put it on Octavia.
Yes.
Like, talk about family resemblance. I was like, oh, you got real lucky with the face shape, because I swear to God, that's you.
That's why I wasn't going to give her Nevaeh. If I was teaming them up, no, ma'am, you're not finna get Nevaeh, because I can easily see you going plump, plump. No.
And straight there just went
Dum dum.
Here, let's kiss real quick.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
You got it. But what's your score for them?
Jesus. Like, damn, to the God. Oh my god, she got an A+.
Period. I give this an A- as well. I thought this was so good, so fun. The face is there. It's more the outfits for me. As much as they're cute, and this is a major redemption from her makeover from season 13 that she did with Denali. I wish there was a little bit more. I do. And then one thing I really love about this episode is someone pointed it out on Twitter. Everyone on this episode has never done a makeover before, or in Olivia's case, was in the bottom for her makeover. The other 5 have not done a makeover on their seasons, and she was in the bottom. And I'm like, oh, I love that they did that for this group. That's why they did it so early. You have a group of people who's never done it, and one person who, bombed. So to see her to come back and do a great job like this, I love it so much. So up next is Aja and Tiva. I thought this was so cute. I love the fairy of it all. I'm going to say this about Michelle Visage. It's not just her who said it. Other judges have said it in the past. And sometimes I've agreed with them, but I guess as I'm getting older and closer to the drag world, with our connections with some of the queens who've reached out to us and yada, 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 saying that their outfit is costumey confuses me, because that's what drag is. No matter if it's the sleekest, beautiful gown you've ever seen, it's a costume.
Right.
And this didn't look costumey to me. To me, my biggest thing was the thigh highs. I love a thigh high. But in this case, a sickening heel would have done just fine. Because with these thigh highs, it cuts off their legs and it makes them look really short. We want to elongate them legs, honey. You want to show them off because they both have beautiful legs. So we want to show them off. And here, it just makes them look really short. But I'm so sick and tired of hearing Michelle and the other judges use the word costuming when it's drag. Drag at its core was just costumes.
Right.
So, Michelle, I love you, but And for this outfit, I would give them a B+. I thought this was cute. I thought it was fun. It was Tinkerbell and her friend. We're finna go out and have a good time. What did you think of Aja and Tiva?
Look, I'm on TikTok too much, so the only thing that popped into my head was she was a fairy. Yep.
Yeah.
She was a fairy with a baddie. And I'm yeah, I can see Aja with that. I can see Aja doing that.
Yes.
Go out to the club, dressed like a fairy, wearing that outfit. Boom. Yes. I actually kind of like the outfit.
Me too. I
don't really get costume from it. Is it just because of the wings? Which
the
those
wings,
are some.
And I think that's what made her say it, because, and I like the wings. They don't have to be, extreme Courtney-act wings. Like these small wings worked for me.
Exactly. They didn't have to be Courtney-act wings. They didn't have to be how come I can't? Plastic tiara wings.
Oh, those wings plastic tiara did. Oh. Money, honey. Money.
Yes. Lots of money.
Lots of money, honey.
Lots of money.
But yeah.
And, but still, even to make those would still cost a lot of money.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Because that's fabric you still gotta buy. And, Joann's went out of business, so
I don't know what I'm gonna do now that Joann's, because I'm learning how to sew right now, and I don't know what I'm gonna do once I get more advanced, because the Walmart fabric can only take you so far.
So you've got Walmart options for fabric.
That's it.
You have Michael's. Apparently,
in my town where I live right now, Walmart is the only option.
I know, but you act like people can't take you farther, or you're not.
I will be leaving my town
at some point in time.
I got to get out this town once my lease is up next year. I gotta go. Like that commercial said, I gotta go right now. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here, okay?
But No, I think you can always order online from like Mood.
Oh yeah, that was the plan going forward, is to find places online that I can get fabric from. But right now, while I'm learning little small stuff, I'll use this fabric that I got.
Right.
And learning what
I
I've learned
think
so
that makes.
far, that machine ain't that hard to
Huh?
work. What I've learned so far, that machine ain't hard to work. Some of these queens
No.
got on this show to make it seem like that machine just hates them. And plus, the one I got even had the instructions on the machine. Even if I didn't watch
Mm.
the video, there was an instruction step by step on what to do.
I think what it is when people don't know what they're doing is they don't understand like a lot of the materials that they're working with, they don't understand that. It's either I don't understand the material I'm working with, or I don't understand how to make a pattern. That's the part of sewing
See, I haven't
that's a
got
little
to the
bit
patterns
harder.
yet. I'm excited to get there.
Is the
Cause I want to
pattern
be like Raven Baxter and make
making,
my own clothes. So,
because not everybody is Bob and brings a pattern with them.
oh, that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna find one that works. Be like, this is my pattern. This is what I need.
Mm-mm.
Oh, but
Because
yeah.
in all honesty, I have some dresses that I really, really love, and I'm just
Hmm.
like, I wonder if I could just make this dress a pattern and then just make it in a size that's a little bit bigger for me,
Yeah.
or then because yeah, although I do plan on utilizing these next 6 weeks to lose some weight because I'm tired of my back hurting, and it was commented on in my end of year evaluation. Not necessarily my weight, just that I had physical difficulties being in my classroom. And I'm
Hmm.
like, it wouldn't be so hard if my classroom wasn't itty bitty, because I had no problems being in my walking around my classroom when I had a bigger classroom,
Hmm.
because I had places I could go walk around, the students be in the middle of them, because that's where I like to be anyway, is in the middle of them, and like sit on, perch on a desk or sit somewhere else. Like, you would never see me really just sitting down in the back of my classroom. I'd be at the front of the classroom, in the middle of the classroom, at the back end. I was always constantly observing. And this year, because my classroom was the size of a shoebox, I had one place to be, and I was extremely restless, to the point where I got a new chair. I got a chair that rolls around so that I could possibly move around a little bit more in my classroom.
Hmm. Now, Aja and Tiva, what is your score for these ladies?
I give that a B plus.
Lovely. So now it's time for Shoot Your Shot. Overall, I thought this performance was really cute. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
nobody truly just did bad with their verses.
No, and you could tell
Irene's
that the girls were having fun.
Irene stuck out to me because she had that effect her partner was given when she was doing her part. It gave more of that, like that game time, like I'm in the crowd feel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It gave off that vibe. I really loved Aja and her partner. Oh, Goddess and Bosco here. When Goddess said 6'7" and get the ship, I'm like, okay, Dominique Jackson reference, okay? Because I just randomly, when somebody compliments, because I got those pink shoes. Every time somebody compliment, I'm like, oh, get the shoes, darling. Get the shoes. Get the shoes. Look at them now. So I love that reference that was made here for her. But yeah, I thought overall this was a fun little challenge here, and you could tell everyone was having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question for you is, out of all the makeovers here, who had your favorite? You
Stamp,
froze
stamp.
there for a
You're
second, so I'm gonna
frozen.
need you to say it again because you froze there for a second.
You froze for a second.
Listen, when this goes up, it's going to show that you froze on my end. Okay? I was just fine. So who was your favorite, honey?
It was Octavia and Olivia.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. My favorite was Irene and Estelle. Really enjoyed it. So, just based off of your critiques that we've had so far, you don't agree with who the top two were this week?
Not really. One of them,
yeah,
I agree, which is Irene.
Yeah.
I think Olivia could have took this, in all honesty.
For me, looking back at my scores, her and Olivia had the same score for me. So it could have been either or, and I would have been happy. I wouldn't have been hollering, rigged! You know what I'm saying? So for me, it could have been one or the other. So with Bosco being there, cool. Because if you looked at it, just looking at this score here, if she would have got it, that would have took her to 5 points. It would have took Irene to 6. I truly feel like Olivia would have won the lip sync, especially with the song choice. So that would have made 6-6. Oh, and I'm not sure if they would have gave any points to Bosco. That's a timeline I would be intrigued to see. I do think Phoenix would, because Phoenix doing her after show interviews, talking about how close her and Bosco was, and how Bosco was helping her because she hasn't been keeping up with Drag Race, so a lot of these challenges were new to her. Like, oh, we do this on Drag Race now?
Right.
So she was helping her through. I truly think she probably would have gave her point to Bosco. Right. But hey, we had Bosco, we had Irene, which brings them both to 6 points. So, it's now time to lip sync for an extra point and a cash tip of $10,000. They lip synced to Pocketbook by Jennifer Hudson featuring Ludacris. I thought this was a weird choice. When it started playing, I'm like, wait, what they know about Pocketbook? And I
knew nothing about Pocketbook.
I meant to go look and see if the women's college basketball, if that's like a song that's associated with them. Forgot to do so. But I'm like, maybe it's a song that's associated with women's college basketball. So, yeah, never looked it up. So if y'all know, let us know in the comments. But yeah, Pocketbook, Jennifer Hudson. This lip sync was okay.
Interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I do agree that Irene did win this. You know, it really wasn't neither one of their styles, but I just feel like Irene embodied it more and had fun with it. And RuPaul agreed. Irene won a cash tip of $10,000 and an extra point, putting her in the lead with 7 points. So our final tally before the final points given away is Irene with 6, Bosco with 3, Aja, Deja, and Olivia with 3 points, and Phoenix with 1. So, our bottom 4 queens of the week. Still, I hate saying that they're the bottom 4 because none of them did bad. Like, it's just so weird, especially since they're not going nowhere. What's the point of saying they're the bottom 4? You know what I'm saying? For me, I would just say the safe queens. The safe queens this week now have to use their point, their most valuable queen point, and give it to someone else. And there's no doing it in the workroom. You do it right here, right now. And that's honestly what I think they should do every episode, is do it right there on the stage in that moment.
Right.
But here we go. So, the queens write down their votes. Yeah. And Aja gave her point to Deja, which brought her to 4. Oh, and also, RuPaul stated, in the event of a tie, she will make the final decision on who moves forward. So I'm hoping there's a tie in either bracket 2 or bracket 3 so we can see RuPaul make this decision. But honestly, out of the 4 remaining queens, Aja's the only one with the win. So I feel like if there was a tie, Aja would have went through regardless. So she gave her point to Deja, taking her to 4. Deja gave her point to Liv, and Liv gave her point to Aja, which ties all 3 of them up. So that means Phoenix has to break the tie. And Phoenix pretty much knew going into it she probably would be the tie-breaking vote. And see, baby, I'm petty. I wouldn't have gave it to none of them. I would have gave it to Irene or Bosco. And be like, oh, looks like it's Rue decision now. Y'all didn't want to give me a point? I ain't giving y'all one. I'm petty. I would have done that. I probably would have wrote down Irene I would have wrote down Bosco to tie her with Irene. Shoot. And would have. Okay? But she chooses Aja, which bumps Aja to 5 points, which means the 3 queens moving on to the semifinals are Irene the Alien with 7 points, Bosco with 6 points, and Aja with 5 points. Did you think coming into it that these would have been the 3 queens moving to the semifinals?
Yeah.
I saw Bosco and Aja going through, but Irene, we didn't know much about her, but she came in and once she started, I'm like, oh yeah, she going to the semifinal now. She going. After that first episode, I'm like, yep, she will be going, and I will be rooting. Okay? So, as y'all know, we typically do predictions at the beginning of the season. But because they did this bracket format, we decided to switch it up a little bit. So, we're going to have 3 queens in the finale that we have picked for ourselves. 1 queen from each bracket. So, we're going to do 1 queen from the 3 that are moving on to the semifinals. So, out of Bosco, Irene the Alien, and Aja, who is the winner out of these 3 queens?
Bosco.
And then for me, the one I can see taking the crown, you know what? I'm going all in. Irene. I can see Irene taking the crown. Could you imagine the first out coming back and snatching the crown? My only thing is awesome. We know that the final episode is a lip sync Lollapalooza. And we've seen said lip syncing of hers. So unless there's songs that just really fit her forte, we're going to see. But still, out of these 3, my pick will be Irene. So we'll be picking our next one at the end of the 3rd episode for bracket 2. Speaking of bracket 2, oh wait, before we get to bracket 2, I almost forgot. RuPaul then announces that don't be sad, eliminated queens. There's still a chance. There's going to be a lottery system at the end, which makes sense because, we talked about it last week when we covered, 2 weeks ago when we covered the first 2 episodes. I'm like, the way RuPaul broke it down, there'll be 7 queens in the finale, so how are they going to do a lip sync Lollapalooza? I mean, they could do it with 7, but it'll be easier for them to do it with 8. Just go to 8, 4, 2. You know what I'm saying? Right. But she's like, oh no, there's going to be a lottery system. Every judge, main judge on the show, which is Michelle, Madison, Carson, Ross, Law, they're all going to get a pick. And I guess it's going to be like a little woo, 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 and then whoever's name is selected will be back in the competition and will be entering the lip sync Lollapalooza. So, we may not have seen the last of these 3 queens here. But for now, we will officially close the door on the first bracket and open the second bracket.
On the one.
And now it is time for the first episode of bracket 2, where we are introduced to our new queens, Tina Burner, Carrie Colby, Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Lydia Butthole Collins, and Georges. So, out of all these queens lined up here, who had your favorite entrance look?
I'm gonna have to say Nicole Page. Well, no, not Nicole Page. I gotta look because I don't know who's who right now. Georges.
I have to agree with Georges. Georges really. I was like, okay, Miss Georges. Okay. So, RuPaul announces the Tournament of All Stars rules. Huh? RuPaul announces the Tournament of All Stars rules and a new wig and a new mustache. No need for us to go over the rules. We know them by now. And announces that this week's Maxi Challenge is a design challenge where they will be giving an 8-ball filled with 8 items that they must use on their garment. Mm-hmm. So the queens enter the workroom. They start talking. Alliances are already being made from the jump. People are looking at Lydia crazy because they didn't know that lady. The only one who knew her was Mistress. And you could tell they were trying to make it sound like the queens knew her. They didn't know her.
No, because she even said so herself. Like, they literally, like, showed her picture to them and explained where she was from.
That's what Nicole told everybody. I'm like, well, it just makes sense, because how are you going to put a queen that just came off and expect this group to know who she is? Because if that was me and I would have saw Lydia, I would have thought she was an international girl. I'm like, oh, what country are you from? Oh, you were on the new season. Oh, the one that just wrapped like a month ago? And you're here?
Not even. She had 5 days.
She had 5 days to get this together.
Thank you, Maddie.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I would pull a stunt like this. If I were to make it, say, we'll just say 25, season 25, and then they call me immediately, like I just got home, I'm crying, or even worse, thinking I did well, making it to top 4, and then they're calling me like, hey, wanna do All Stars? Like right now, All Stars? Like, yeah, okay. Like I said, call me Jujubee. Y'all gonna be sick of me. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
If you need someone to fix you, call me.
So, we got to see the new scoreboard with everybody's name, and it's pink because it's the pink bracket.
Yes, the pink bracket.
But yes, we immediately see Tina and Mistress, they start the shade here. Because Tina's upset about a picture that she posted, good morning, with that wig that she had on. And yeah, Drag Race is back because they are arguing over a tweet right now. I thought that was good. So we sit down and we learn that they are technically not family, but they're just from 2 different lines of Brooks families that claim each other. And I'm like, okay. And then this was the first inkling of a alliance for this season. And then we turned around and Mistress immediately made another alliance. But Mistress even said in her confessional, I'm going to make alliance with everybody. I'm going to make alliance with everybody. And realizing all these queens were from Texas, and I'm like, oh, that's right. That is right.
Yep.
All 3 of these queens are from Texas. I think they said Georges was originally from San Antonio. I think she lives in Austin now. Mistress is from Houston. And Carrie was originally from Dallas. And I'm like, come through Texas. And I think that's why I've always somewhat liked Georges. I didn't realize she was originally from Texas. But something about me, I couldn't just hate her like everybody else was. I'm like, I like her. Now, I will never forgive her for that design challenge she won on her season. And they had the nerve to show that look on the episode. Nah, don't remind me of it. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, I'm excited to see my Texas sisters. And these are the 3 I want to move on to the next round.
Hey.
These are the 3 I want. But we'll see. So we start to see. Huh?
I said we shall see.
We shall see. So we now see Tina Burner and Lydia Butthole Collins not confirming their alliance, but saying, oh, maybe I'll have your back. And then they start somewhat flirting, and I'm like, Lydia? No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Like,
and you should have seen Corey.
No,
have you watched The Pit Stop?
No.
Oh, God, you gotta watch it. Corey was on it. Corey King was on it.
I know that much.
Hilarious. I loved it so much. But yeah, so we start seeing this little partnership starting to form here. The pit crew comes in with the 8 balls. They line them up for everybody, and they read their note saying, hey, pick one at random and get to work. So everyone gets their 8 balls, they get their 8 items, and they get to work, honey. So RuPaul comes in and does a walkthrough, and we got to see her interact with all the queens. And one thing I loved about Carrie's walkthrough, she mentioned the phrase, that wasn't my ministry. Mm-hmm. And when she said it, I cackled so hard. For those who've been watching for a while know, I'm always telling folks, no, that ain't my ministry, okay? That ain't. And that just cemented that she is from Texas, because that is something we say down here heavy. Oh, that ain't my ministry, honey. I can't help you there. That ain't never been my ministry. Ain't never been. So it was. I
think I've slipped up and said it a couple of times. And people have been like, you've been out here too long. You sure he's in California? Yes.
But you've been in Texas now, what, like 15 years? Something like that?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You came to Texas around the time I was graduating high school. Because I'm such a young baby. So yeah, we got to see everyone's walkthrough, and then we've seen the petty argument between Mistress and Tina Burner. Oh, it's so funny because neither one of them was gonna stop, and I don't think they were serious, but it was just funny seeing them go back and forth. And Mistress is one of them people. Once she knows she got under your skin, she gonna keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I got you. Okay, I got you now. Let's go. So let's get to the main stage. Up first, we have our hostess with the mostest, the queen of all queens, the mother of all mothers, RuPaul. What did you think of Ru's look this week? And your score?
This gets a D from me. I'm not a big fan. Mm-hmm. And like the neck makes her look like she's got my neck and disappear. Or like it's trying to hold her up. I don't know. I don't like it.
For me, I thought this was cute. I thought it was different. I agree with the shoulder, but everything else looks really good. So I'm going to give it a solid B. And of course, bring this down, Ru. It looked right at the finale, but the finale was shot after season 17, but we also know the finale of this was shot after the last finale. So I'm hoping the finale for this is where it's supposed to be. Okay? Okay. So this week we're joined by Michelle Visage, T.S. Madison, and Suzanne Barch. Welcome back, honey. I always enjoy when she come back. I still think my favorite appearance is when they did the clubs on All Stars 4. Club 96. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to see Suzanne back. So, the category is 8-Ball Eleganza! Up first is George's. What did you think of George's and your score?
Nice to see something long. I really wish she'd have took like the floral print all the way around. But I know she had like 30,000 items she had to include.
And I love how they made them count them out on the main stage. All right, tell us what the 8 items are. They were not playing. They were like, where are they at?
Right. But other than that, I give this. I feel like this was like a solid effort on her part to not walk out in a bathing suit, even though it still kind of is reminiscent of a bathing suit to me. I give this a C plus, and it's mostly just because I like the floral fabric.
Honestly, I liked it more when Mistress called it a moo. What happened between there and here? I'm like, oh, okay. I would give this a C plus. Honestly, this is probably one of the better looks she's made over the years.
Right.
So, and her mug is always correct. So, good job. Up next, we have Carrie Colby. I love this so much. She walked out in this, and I was like, Carrie? And the thing is, it's so simple, but it's not at the same time. You can see all the details that went into this garment. I love it. It was so good. I give this an A. I really like this.
I like this version better than the version I saw on TikTok, because the version I saw on TikTok was a lot busier and may have seemed elevated to her, but was not to me. I like this version better, so this version gets a B plus from me. I like the skirt, and if I had body and booty like that, I guess I'd show it off too.
So up next,
so there's no haters in the room.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna call you a hater for this one. Up next is Lydia Butthole Collins. What did you think of Lydia and her butthole?
This was the most interesting thing I'd ever saw, but it's so her, like in her avant-garde kind of way. And I was just like, she made a jumpsuit. Okay. And I'm like, well, she probably just wrapped the little green thing around her like it was a towel. And so I'll allow it. So to me, this gets a C plus.
The way you were talking, I thought you was I was expecting like an A minus, B plus, and you're like, so good for her, C plus.
A lot of my scores sometimes are me just trying to tell you what you want to hear, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm too tired to lie. I'm just gonna give you what I honestly think about it. C plus.
Listen, always give what you truly feel. We can have different of opinions, honey. But I'm not too far from yours on this one. I'm really shocked this was the top 2.
Same.
I was really shocked, and I'm excited for Lydia. But this confused me.
Yeah.
I liked it. I love the funness, and I feel like this is better than what she was making on her season. So
Facts.
I'm gonna give this like a B minus. There's aspects of this that I love, but yeah, for the most part, I was shocked that she was in the top this week.
Facts. With her little pound cake makeup.
Up next is Mistress Isabel Brooks. Oh, this was everything.
It really was.
Everything. From her head down to her toe. Whoa, whoa. I thought this was so good. This was a silhouette. Very, what's the word? It's a silhouette we've seen Mistress do before, which they made that sound like that was a bad thing when they freaking crowned Bianca Del Rio and she wore the same silhouette every week. I don't want to hear that at all. But I thought this was great. I wouldn't want to change a thing. A plus. I was gagged. This was not in the top 2.
As far as constructing things is concerned, this was very well made. I mean, I don't know if they're just looking for personality. I don't know if they're looking for...
They never once said they wanted something different from the queens when they said make an outfit.
Right. So she made what looked best on her.
And she made that corset. Like, she made a corset.
Look, because I can't make a corset.
I ain't got there yet. Hopefully I can get there. But
same, because I had this idea for a pair of pants. Pair of high-waisted pants.
I'm excited to get to the pants. I am so excited to get to the pants.
You get to the high-waisted pants and you just put the corset and the top of the pants, and then let it lace up in the back. Okay, I'm gonna shut up before somebody steals my idea, even though I'm pretty sure it exists somewhere already.
So what's your score for Mistress?
I gave it an A.
Okay, I must not have heard. I must have been talking. Up next, we have Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. What did you think of Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh, I think her and Georgia switched outfits. Cause this was a Georgia's thing. Like, let me make a bathing suit. But I think it would have been different had she been able to make like a skirt and then made the stars and then tore the skirt off and then it been a bathing suit. That would have been a little bit better or something. I don't know. This gets a D plus from me.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm not a fan of the bathing suit.
So for me, I love how Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia has been reintroducing herself to the fan base. And I love how she has not changed from season 2. This is the same lady we got on season 2. I love it. She is shady. She's funny. She is real. This outfit, though, is not the best. So for me, I will give it a D. But I'm so happy she's back on our screens. Up next is Tina Burner. A plus. A plus.
She made jacket and pants.
It just behooves me how much she got done in a short period of time. Like, seeing how she got all this done in the same amount of time it took Nicole to make that bathing suit. This gives an A plus. A plus plus.
A plus plus. I agree.
A plus plus.
So she was sitting there trying to figure out what she was gonna do with that teddy bear fur, and she said, "Oh, let me make a jacket."
Made a jacket, a pair of pants, a top. Oh, it's just, she even did something to her shoes to match the outfit. Like, my God, like, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So now, it's no secret that she was my favorite. Huh?
I said, still them colors though.
Honestly, that's why I think these baskets weren't random like they said. Because how did she end up with them colors? How did Lydia end up in zebra print when that's what sent her home was zebra print? How did Mistress get her, what is that? Zebra? Cheetah print. Like, I swear, I think them 8 balls were not as random as they want us to think. But it's no secret that Tina was my favorite look this week. Hands down. I want one in every color. In every color combination. Like, beautiful. Who was your favorite this week?
Let's see here. I'm gonna have to give it to Tina Burner.
That's right. So after deliberation, RuPaul announced that Lydia Boho Collins and Tina Burner are the top 2. We've already discussed. I don't think Lydia should have been there. Like, she did good. I'm not, But I truly thought this should have been Tina and Mistress. That's my thought. So, they both get 2 points, and it's time for them to lip sync to Love Sensation by Loada Holloway. I can never say that lady's first name.
Mm-hmm.
But
Lolita.
Once the song started playing, I'm like, oh, now I see why Lydia's in the top 2. They're trying to recreate the Boogie Wonderland moment. Okay.
Yes.
And it just irritates me because, I watch Mistress's YouTube channel. And there was one video where she reviewed her audition tape for Drag Race. And she said on there that her favorite song to lip sync to is Love Sensation. That's the song when she go places, that's what they request from her.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she didn't get to do it on Drag Race, it just hurts my spirit. Especially when she did Not as good as Tina, but she was number 2 in the week. But that's not the lip sync we have. We have Butthole and Tina Burner. And I gotta give it to Butthole, baby. She turned it out.
Butthole and Burner.
Burner, she tried. Tina tried.
She tried. She really did.
But Lydia ate her up.
Sideways, inside out.
And then just spit her out. Like, okay, I'm done.
Right?
Yeah, Lydia ate that up. And it's been such a minute since I've heard this song. I had to go check to make sure it was on my playlist. It was. But I had to go check. I'm like, wait, I ain't heard this in a minute. Why ain't I heard this in a minute? Because that's my jam. But yeah.
Oh, you did get to see the reveal. For some weird reason, I didn't see it when the reveal happened. Tina's? So I was sitting there like, wait, where'd this outfit come from?
But yeah, Lydia ate her up. And it was announced that she was the winner of this lip sync. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Which means she gets an extra point, which gives her 3 points and Tina 2 points. And one thing I loved about the lip sync as well, you could tell this was one of RuPaul's favorite songs. You can always tell when it's one of Ru's favorites because she's just out there lip syncing and dancing along in a little chair. I'm like, oh yeah, that's her song right there. That's her song, okay? We get 1 or 2 throughout the seasons where you just see RuPaul really out there. Just like, oh, y'all not doing good enough, don't make me come up there. I'm going to show you how it's done. I will show y'all how it's done. But yeah, so Lydia with 3, Tina with 2, the rest have 0. The bottom 4 queens get called up to the main stage, and they are told that they were going to give their points away as the most valuable queen, and they'll do it at the top of the next episode, which, again, they should just do it right there on the stage. Be like, boom, give your points away right now. But hey, it is what it is. They danced the night away. I love that the ending song is now ASMR Lover. Can we please keep it that for a while, okay?
Yeah.
You make me feel in my ear. And I love how everybody's singing along. Like when you cut it to Michelle or TS, they're all like, that's what you are, lover. ASMR, you for real. I shit you not.
Rewatch that.
I shit you not. If that song would have went to any of the little pop girlies of today, it would have went number 1.
You look.
I'm just being real. ASMR Lover is that girl. Okay? Yep.
I honestly feel like I think you just get one good like TikTok person to do something to it. It would be over.